Hi, I'm Andy, CEO and founder of Tuna Gear, chief rig tyer as well. We've done a video on how to tie a bar. I thought I'd do one on how I tie the stingers. So we've tied a blue Mac in the previous video. So you always really want to use contrasting colours on a bar. So we're going to use the Dukes. We'll tie up a black stinger this time. So pop the foam out the bottom. Nip that top off slightly. Out comes the pokey. Put that hole in it, ready for threading. So with everything, Grand Slam, best in the business. Don't use anything else. Low diameter, unbelievably strong. Really 4 different ways to tie a stinger. You can tie them at 6 foot, you can tie them at 10 foot, you can have them with a float, or you can do a weighted stinger. The difference really, the length is a preference thing. I'm a big fan of a 10-foot stinger. I think it works really, really well. We're going to tie this one just at 6 foot for ease. The only reason you would have a float in there, so one of our cigar floats, or one of these egg weights, if the sea's particularly choppy, what you can find is this is being towed along with just a float in it. You can see your stinger just flipping out the back of the water. So in choppy conditions, it's always worth going to a weighted stinger. So we're going to tie this one at 6 foot. Down on my mark. We'll do this one just as a float stinger. So thread it up all the way through. VMC hooks. These are the Bakings. Really, really, really good hook. I'm a massive fan, as you can probably tell. They've got a good size eye on them, they've got a good gauge, and they are pin sharp. In fact, if you've seen Facebook recently, you'll see the announcement that we've partnered with them, and all you are going to be getting on our stingers are VMC hooks. For 12 inch, 15 inch, 17 inch and 21 inch squids, you're going to get a 12-0, and on the 9-inch squid you're going to get a 9-0. We're going to come down to our mark it up, crimps, double crimp, loop protector, on goes our hook, thread through to the mark, loop protector, in comes the thimble, thread the hook on. So I'm a big fan of these Bakings. You get a really good, you get nice movement in the hook. So pull that down nice and tight, metal on metal, over and into jaws. Again, this is a super important part because it's a pull point. Make sure that thimble's in there perfect, and then we go. Metal on metal, it's got to be metal on metal. It's not making that noise, it's just not good enough. If it doesn't do that, it's not good enough. And pull through. There we have a stinger. Bit of foam that came with it. Stick it on the end. Now you can't hurt yourself. There's your stinger to tow through the water. Now we just need to do the end, which will attach to your quick change clip. So we repeat the process. We put our mark on there, pick out 2 crimps, loop protector on, put it up to our mark there. And because it's a pull point, metal on metal, in goes the thimble. So that's what I will talk about, where you can pull it and you get that thimble pulling off to one side. So you just want to take a minute and just get it absolutely straight. So we're going to go back into jaws. Absolutely perfect crimp again. Flared at both ends, perfectly flared down the side. Let's go to the safety crimp. Again, flared both sides, perfect. So that is a stinger that's ready to go on the back of your bar. Tuna Gear stinger bag and some leader wraps. It's every time, like, you're going to be chopping and changing stingers through the day. There's no 2 ways about it. Size, colour, there's a multitude of different things you need to be trying. If you're just not catching and there's fish there, you need to be chopping and changing your stingers. You don't want to put these in unwrapped because they will just turn themselves into the biggest bird's nest. And when you're quickly trying to pull something out of a bag, the last thing you want is 5 different stingers all knotted together. You will unpick them. It's not going to do any damage. So use your leader wraps. It gets supplied with leader wraps. When you unwrap it at the beginning of the day, put your leader wraps in your bag. And when you come to put it all away at the end of catching loads of tuna, they're waiting for you to neatly put back in the bag. In we go. A Tuna Gear Stinger, logoed.